Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm heading down to the beach to do, of course, the morning briefing. It is St. Patrick's Day. May the blessings of St. Patrick be with you all this glorious morning in Southern California. It's absolutely gorgeous, and boy, are they biting. Bluefin, tuna, halibut, and a lot more. I'm heading down to set up right now. Good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, look at that.
On the fifth, he's gone, dude.
All we had to do was stand next to each other. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'd say they're biting right now. Nice sundowner.
Do you guys want to be together?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of together?
Dude.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and happy St. Patrick's Day 2024. This gloriously beautiful morning in Southern California. It is absolutely beautiful, and there is so much going on. We've got bluefin tuna. You saw the lead-in, Mike Pritchard and the crew of the Tribute first trip of the year, and they limit out on the bluefin tuna in tremendous fishing. You've got to love that. Congratulations to those guys, Polaris Supreme, with a great trip. Also, our friend John Collis was on board that one, sending us constant updates. He got a nice fish also. We had some great halibut fishing. There's still a myriad of fish that you can catch, like sculpin and whitefish and sheephead right now. Rockfish going to open up here pretty soon on April the 1st. The Channel Islands bite out there on the Island Spirit. Another great day for our friend Daniel, who ran the boat and did such an exceptional job. They had some halibut and more whitefish and great stuff to take home for a St. Patrick's Day feast. You know what time it is. It is time for the St. Patrick's Day morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, I love St. Patrick's Day. It reminds me of the Fighting Irish. It also reminds me of a time on this very beach where I caught my biggest yellowfin croaker ever, just shy of 22 inches. We looked it up in the Department of Fish and Wildlife, and it was exactly the same length of the largest one ever recorded. So we ran around and tried to get certified scales, and my kids convinced me there was going to be a ticker tape parade for me here in Seal Beach until I'd had enough. And I said, you know that place the Cambodian girls sell donuts at? Let's go there. So I walked in and said, hey, how would you like this thing for dinner? And they said, man, sign us up. So really some fun times. It makes me want to fish here this morning, though. Looks like a beautiful ocean, and we have got so much going on. All right, that coffee was so good. But we're going to start another tradition here on the morning briefing on St. Patrick's Day, because I got up this morning at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to be the first one to take a bite of corned beef in your life on St. Patrick's Day. Nobody else has done this, right? Put a comment down below if somebody else has already had corned beef. Gonna be everything I do to not finish the rest of that by the end of the morning briefing. Sorry. Oh my God, is that good? All right, one more swig and let's get into it, because there's a lot to talk about. It's a tremendously exciting time right now. All right, I had to do that. Come on, it's St. Patrick's Day. Give me a break. Hit that like button if you don't mind. We deeply appreciate it. When you do that, share these videos with a friend. Also, you can subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. We love that. And when you tick that bell, you're notified when there is new content, which we already have new content up about a tackle shop in Ensenada. If you forget something on your way down to Baja, you're going to want to check that out. They've got a great tackle shop. They've got a couple. We'll be reviewing others really, really soon. Paulina and I took a look at a nice tackle shop for you in Ensenada. All right, we've got so much to talk about. Number one, I've got to let you know that you guys who are on that 5-day trip on the Independence, get ready. Wow. We have our 5-day trip, Friedman Adventures, sailing on April the 4th. Guy called me last night, Mike Krinkovich, said, I'm calling Pauline in the morning, signing up. We're going April the 4th through the 9th. There's still room on that trip. You can call Paulina this morning also, or you can just go to www.independencesportfishing.com and grab a spot, because that is going to be a great trip. Tavante, my son Philip, Scott Bouchard, all you guys who are on that trip, get ready to rock and roll, because as you can see by the lead-in, there was some really great fishing. In that weather, man, I looked at that sundown bite on board the Tribute, and the weather looked absolutely fabulous. Another thing, when you see a crew like Mike Pritchard and the guys on the Tribute, and they're kind of joking around while everybody is bit, that tells me that is a crew who has everything under control. No craziness, no, really, I mean, it gets that way once in a while, but they just had it all under control, and it was a great bite, and they end up with one fish that goes 160 pounds, a lot of fish in that 40 to 60 pound class. A great day on board the Tribute as I jump right into the bluefin tuna bite because I can hardly contain myself. John Collis was on board the Polaris Supreme. They end up their 3-day trip with 50 or so BFT, their biggest one, about 120 pounds. They had some good fishing late last night on bigger grade bluefin tuna. Not a lot, but they had some nice fish. John got one that he estimated to be about 80, 90 pounds, something like that. John, nice going. So happy for you on board the Polaris Supreme. There was daytime fish, sinker fish taken, so you need your fluorocarbon rigs ready to rock and roll. Like 30-pound fluoro was getting bit really, really well, even 35-pound fluoro. The heaviest you can fish and get a bite with is what you're going to want to go with, and that's when you defer to the crew. The guys on the Tribute, the guys on the Polaris Supreme, the great crew on the Independence or any other boat. They're there. They want you to catch fish, and they are seeing what's unfolding before their very eyes at the moment. They know exactly what you should be fishing with. Ask them. Make a crew member your friend. Take care of them at the end of the trip, and all will be well. I guarantee you that. So really good signal. Now to go back to John on the Polaris Supreme. Yesterday, he said for several hours they were absolutely surrounded, 360 degrees of frothing, boiling bluefin tuna that were very finicky, really didn't want to bite all that well, and that stuff will settle and it will bite. It could be that it's a nighttime bite, it could be that the light switch just didn't flip on, but the deeper we get into the year, the more that stuff is going to get eager to chew, and they chewed pretty darn good for this real early season type of bluefin tuna with an absolutely gorgeous sunrise here in Surfside, California. So normally I hang on to that bite and I do Mexico first, but I could hardly contain myself about this BFT bite. And once again, we're on the Independence, April 4th through the 9th. You're going to want to jump on that. San Diego-based boats are getting together a ton of great trips. I'll come back to the bluefin tuna bite in a moment, but let's go to Mexico. Cabo San Lucas, we continue to see good striped marlin fishing, some yellowfin tuna down there, occasional wahoo, and some occasional pretty good fishing for dorado. Now, as we take a look at San Quintin, there's really some good yellowtail fishing for Jaime's Pangas. Yesterday, they hammered on the yellowtail, and of course, mixed with that forkage is some really good lingcod and really nice big vermilions, red rockfish, and all kinds of other bottom dwellers. So you not only get a shot at those yellows, but you get a shot at some really good bottom fishing. I don't know how you can beat that. Moving up the Baja Coast there in Ensenada, they continue to catch yellows. Our friend Foca, who runs out of Juanitos Pangas, or Juanitos Botes, Juanitos, I'll get it right, where our friend Paulina and her mom and her aunt and everybody are, where we were the other night eating sashimi. He's coming up with yellows every day. Nice grade fish, 15 to 25 pound stuff. Really looking good down there on the bottom bite. There's good calico bass fishing if you want to focus on that also. It's all really, really good. And we put up another great podcast that we did with Louis Prieto. It's for real sport fishing. If you want to go down to Ensenada, you can't go wrong with Louis. He's a great guy, great fisherman, got a great Parker all set up, ready to rock and roll for you. And when you get back to Ensenada, he'll take you over to his bar, the Tequila Sports Bar and Grill in Ensenada, and cook your catch up. You are going to love fishing with him. Long range Royal Polaris off to the races with some awfully good fishing. 96 wahoo yesterday on their long-range trip. They're on an 18-day trip, so they've pushed way down the Baja Peninsula, and they are slamming them. They also had 46 on the yellowfin tuna. I don't know how it can get much better than that. So we've got bluefin tuna biting here, and I believe that BFT bite was in U.S. waters, just across the border a little ways. An easy day and a half range. Again, the tribute had limits by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They put the wood to it. So did the Polaris Supreme, and I can't wait for that Independence trip. That is going to be really a lot of fun. What a gorgeous St. Patrick's Day. To send you blessings one more time again. It looks like 2024 is going to be a great year. All right, let's jump across the border and just kind of work up. I don't know how we'll do it. Geographically, maybe down there, the new Seaforth continues to see some of those nice La Jolla yellowtail up breezing around. I already talked to a couple of kayakers who are seeing those big yellow. So what I'm telling you is, you may fish rockfish, you may even fish wintertime bass in San Diego right now, but I would bring a yo-yo iron setup. That is a small, heavy jig that you're gonna sink deep. I'd fish it with 60 pound, and I would wind on it fast, drop it deep, wind on it fast, and when you get a bite, you just keep turning the handle. That is a way to get it done on those yellows. They're not killing them. It's some trips they don't even get them, but they're seeing them on a lot of trips, and every once in a while you'll get a shot at it, and you want one of those 18 to 25 pound yellows on board if you can get a shot at it. As I mentioned, there's some good wintertime bass fishing down there. The Mission Belle is departing shortly now. Scott Bouchard is the galley cook on there, and I hope that Sean Hardigan, my dear friend, will be running the boat. I say hope because I love Sean, and I know how much he loves being on the water and treating you all to a fun day's fishing. The Premier has been doing really, really well down in that neck of the woods also, so some good fishing there. Sheep's Head, some bass, whitefish at Dana Wharf, Oceanside, working our way up to the Newport Beach area. Same kind of a situation there. We're picking at all that bottom stuff here in the LA Orange County local area. You know, sheephead, whitefish, that kind of stuff. Gorgeous St. Patrick's Day. It should be fine fishing indeed. Overnight trip. Oh boy, the Pride. They did it again. 22nd Street landing in beautiful San Pedro, California. They thumped on the halibut on an absolutely wonderful trip. 14 anglers, 41 halibut on board the Pride. They just keep doing it over and over and over again. They released 29 short halibut. Halibut here in California, you have to be 22 inches in length, so they released the ones that were short. They had limits of sheep's head, which is 2 fish per rod. They had 28 sheep's head, and I think they had a couple of bass and some other stuff, but 41 halibut. It doesn't get any better than that. What the heck's with this wind here this morning, making my life difficult? Lots of boats fishing Catalina Island, and so good to have the Pursuit out of 22nd Street landing on the run again. And our friend Nick Ramirez was on that trip, and he said, Phil, man, the halibut bite, awesome on board the Pursuit today. It really was good. Nick had a great day. I believe he had 2 halibut. They had 17 halibut on board the Pursuit, and don't you dare get used to these numbers. These are incredible halibut numbers. They released a bunch of fish also, and they had 4 short white sea bass, and then they had some sheep's head and calico bass. Not a lot, but a little bit to add in. They're focused really heavily on the halibut, and they came through with a great trip. The Native Son had no halibut, which is really unusual because they have had an incredible year this year, but nothing here locally for them yesterday. But they did have whitefish, that kind of stuff. Monte Carlo 22nd Street landing, they had 100 plus on the whitefish, so there still is some really good local fishing. You're able to put some fish in the sack. Up there in the Channel Islands, our friend Daniel Hadaway ran the Island Spirit, and they had some pretty darn good fishing. 17 anglers on board with 108 whitefish, 2 halibut, 1 white sea bass released. Daniel said it was a beautiful day up there. And remember, when you book with those guys on board the Island Spirit, if you do it before April 1st, you can call the landing and mention the code word preseason 20, or you can go online at Ventura Sport Fishing and put in preseason 20 at checkout, and you'll get 20% off, and that's for the rest of the year. But you got to do it before April the 1st. Don't forget, kids fish free on board the Island Spirit every Sunday. So today and then next Sunday is your next chance to take advantage of that. Hey, back to Catalina. I got to mention that the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing had a really great trip yesterday. He was out at Catalina Island, picked off some halibut, had some sheep's head. In fact, they limited out on the sheephead over there with some really great fishing, and also had 3 halibut, I think. So fun times on the El Patron. They're already on their way to Cat. In fact, I believe they've arrived by now, so we'll be watching them very, very closely for you all. Hey, don't forget, it's tax season. You want to call our friend Tim Marquez at A Best Income Tax. Tim will handle your back taxes, your present taxes. He's a man you can trust, and he'll take really good care of you. And if you have heating or air conditioning needs, you're going to want to turn to John Lopez and Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. Nobody does it better than John. He's a great guy, and he won't let you down. Give him a call this morning. All right, let's take a look at what's going on here in the surf. We've got Corvina still biting pretty well. You know, it's kind of early for that, but the water stayed relatively warm. We've got some good barred perch fishing going on up and down the coast. There's more and more halibut being taken, you know, by throwing a small chrome lure. Those Castmasters work great. Drop shotting works great. A chrome crocodile works great. Throwing a lucky crab lure. There's quite a bit of halibut around here right now on this gloriously beautiful St. Patrick's Day morning. It is something to marvel at. So you can take advantage of all those species, including yellowfin croaker and more. And you can go up there to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, right on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. Buy a ruler there, and with that ruler, you're automatically in a free derby every single month. They're giving away a gorgeous, beautiful surf rod, a custom rod that you're going to absolutely love. It's for the biggest barred perch here in March. Next month, it'll be a different species, and we'll be announcing it here. All you do is lay your ruler out, put your fish on it, take a photo, inscribe the date behind in the sand, and then upload it to the Big Fish Bait and Tackle Instagram page, and you're automatically entered, and you can win a free custom rod. What is wrong with that? Gavin Kazach up there fishing Point Magoo. Gavin's a great guy, works on the boats out of the Channel Islands. He had barred perch, he had a nice halibut, he had a lot of yellowfin croaker, so we see some really good catches going on right now. That halibut right there that you see, that was caught on a Worm King lure. Nice catch for that young lady. Thomas Aranda, private boater, had a 43-inch halibut. In fact, he said the halibut fishing was absolutely awesome. And they actually had a situation where they were winding up smaller halibut, and a bigger halibut would come up and try to eat the darn thing. So pretty incredible stuff. Thomas, appreciate you sharing that with us all. Lobster hoop netting, fantastic as the season winds down on our ProMarahi.com lobster hoop netting update. It's been fantastic. And anytime you have some really windy and inclement weather, as we did about 48 hours ago, the time period after that seems to be a time when the lobster absolutely love to crawl. So keep that in mind. Man, I got to tell you right now, really a beautiful day. A nice dog joining the morning briefing. I don't know how you can beat it. So we've got some tremendous fishing going on and a lot of content from Mexico that we just put up. Check out that tackle store. You got to check out Paulina unloading that skiff. It's for real sport fishing. It's available for you to charter out of beautiful Ensenada. And of course, here in Southern California, we have some tremendous bluefin tuna fishing just starting to take off. Early season stuff. We've got some really great halibut fishing going on up and down the coast, and we continue to see a lot of critters here in the surf. The lobster hoop netting has been fantastic also. What can I tell you? A gorgeous, beautiful St. Patrick's Day morning, and I got to spend it with you. Blessings to you all. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Mm-mm-mm. Mm.